Colby Covington. Colby and Masvidal are red hot. You wonder why guys make money and don't have to go out and complain to the media? You wonder why guys can honor a contract because they understand how this business works. If you're going to do a fight anyway, make sure people are watching. Real simple. Real elementary. But we haven't seen media like this in a period of time. I mean, this is the heyday. This is the golden age of fighting. And it's only been 4 or 5 months that we've been burned, but it's been 2 world title fights in 2 pay-per-views, including what should have been the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. And these guys all stabbed us in the back. Well, Colby and George are making up for it. These guys are hot. And if you ever want to wonder if a grudge is real or if a grudge is being manufactured, my God. De Niro, Stallone, Ed Norton cannot act this well. Denzel himself, they cannot act this well. So Colby's, I mean, he's hot. Colby's doing it every other day, had this badass necklace on and no shirt, which is just a great look. I think maybe Conor started that somewhere, but when you pop onto Sports Center with Stephen A in the middle and you didn't even think to put your shirt on, the whole rest of the world would go, hey, Mom, I'm going on Stephen A's show tonight. Come over and help me pick out an outfit. Mom's going to come. She's going to iron it. You're going to put it on. You're going to check it. Colby showed up with no shirt. There's just something about that that's cool. I was never cool enough guy to pull that one off, but I wish I would have. I couldn't imagine taking my shirt off and sitting here and talking to you guys right now without addressing the fact that my shirt it was just a cool look. Then you got Masvidal comes on. Masvidal might just be the king of fashion. The guy's out there selling tequila or whiskey or something. He could sell every kind of shirt that he wears. He just looks cool, and then they're pissed. They're just red hot going at each other. Even Stephen A is going, my God, they got heat over here that's going to melt the airwaves. Somewhere through the process of the press week, Colby makes a statement. Colby Covington comes out and made a statement in the direction of Israel Adesanya. Now, I love this for multiple reasons. Before I get there, let me just tell you what Colby said, because it was a very honest comment, which was, I'm going to go out and destroy George and the whole world's going to watch. My name is going to be hot. And if I find out after that I'm not in line to get back in there with Usman just because they're looking for parity, I'm leaving the division. My goal hasn't changed, which is to be world champion. If I can get an opportunity up here that I can't get here, I'm gone. All right, stop right there. I love that. Because I do think that's the spot Colby's in. I think Gilbert Burns is in that same spot, whether he knows it or not. I think Masvidal is in that same spot, whether he knows it or not. That they're not going to be able to return to a championship match as long as Kamaru's holding that strap. And we have seen no signs from Usman that is likely to be gone. As a matter of fact, I think Usman's hardest work is in the rearview mirror. I think the guys that I just named are the hardest fights out there. Not trying to disrespect anybody. But in all fairness, Usman's ranked number 1 in the world pound for pound. He should be. Can we agree on that? Okay. So I'm very happy to the idea that Colby's talking about leaving the division because he's only got 2 ways to go. Now, I don't think Colby's big enough to be a middleweight, but if he's willing to commit to it, that can change very quickly. If I was to guess for you guys, Colby's going to leave weights. Is he more likely to go to 55 or is he more likely to go to 85? I probably would have said 55, which would be too small. 185 today, a little too big. Colby is perfect for 170 pounds. But if you want big rewards, you got to take big risks. And it's the first time ever he spoke about it. I loved it. I loved it. There is no greater system created in unarmed combat to get yourself a fresh coat of paint when you just need that. I hit the redo button than changing weight classes. You're about to see it with Dan Hooker. Number 5 guy at 155 pounds is about to go to 45. Everything scratch. He's going to get looked at brand new. Frank Edgar did this down to 35. Jose Aldo. These are legends. These are world champions. They did it. They went down. And I only bring that to you just to prove the point that would be interesting. And if you want a piece of Adesanya, all you got to do is get his attention. Now, everybody that's ever got Izzy's attention did it in a negative way. They did it by being a jerk. Okay, fine. You put Izzy into a corner, he will come out fighting just like any other animal. Jared Cannonier makes that list He did it by being polite. You guys know the story on Izzy and Cannonier? You guys know what I'm talking about when I say that? They were both at a show. They weren't fighting. Whoever set the seats, right? Dana's team that set the seats put these two side by side. So Izzy's ready for, this guy's going to start it on me and ruin my night like everyone else does. He turns to him and says, hey, I'm Jared. Oh, Izzy says, well, hey, I'm Israel Adesanya. They start visiting. 4 hours later, when the show's done, they part ways with a handshake and, hey, I hope I see you again someday. Izzy goes and tells the media, if I ever have an opportunity to give to a guy, I'm giving it to him. So it's not just upsetting a guy. I'm just trying to prove the point. Great story, isn't it? Have you guys heard that story before? It's a great story. I see Ryan in the corner here. He's smiling. If you don't know that story, it is kind of a cool one. But my point is the same, which is you got to get Adesanya's blessing. Nobody in this sport controls their own career and who's next better or more often than Izzy Adesanya. You got to get his attention. You got to do it in a different way. All the middleweights have made a shot. The middleweights are starting to recycle through. All of a sudden, you get a welterweight that Izzy didn't see coming? He's going to listen. Now, what do you do with that? We're going to have to wait and see. I'm just sharing for you. It is interesting as we go into this contest. Both Colby and Usman. See, these are smart guys. Colby and Masvidal. These are smart guys, though. I started this whole thing by telling you, two guys that you never see going back and forth and trying to negotiate with the organization through the media. Two guys that are perfectly happy to honor the deals that they have, but they understand the business, which is why they're out there and so many people are going to tune in. But at the same time, they're following another step that most guys miss all the time, which is to set up what's tomorrow. I've already got this fight. That's already signed. The venue's already there. The trucks are on the way. The satellites are pulling in. I need a job to have the next day. Masvidal went after Nate Diaz. Colby is now going after Adesanya. I don't know where those fights are going to go, but that isn't the point. It's the dialogue and the conversation. It's getting ahead of things. It's marketing 101. You fix the narrative before your opponents do it for you. And you're seeing two great workers, both coming off losses, neither with the championship, that are going to break pay-per-view records for 2022. How'd they do it? You think you got to turn on your roommate? You think you got to fight your old teammate? You think you got to go on SportsCenter with a cool necklace and no shirt on? No, guys, don't miss this. Don't miss any step that these two make. One thing they have in common is they both lost their last fight. Show me another guy who lost a fight and returns to pay-per-view. Two of them did it in this case. They're a step ahead. There's a game. Study it, learn it, manipulate it. And when all's said and done, as it pertains to Covington and Masvidal, appreciate it.